Hello, Karen from Emerging Soul Tarot with a weekly energy read, really. And I will be doing this every Sunday, so it's like an alternative Sunday service. Yeah, I'll be using a Tree of Life spread. So, yeah. So what I'll do is I'll read a little bit about the energies that I've noticed, and then I'll go on to our read. So obviously it's the week beginning the 6th of June, and the main event is on the 10th with that annular eclipse with the new moon in Gemini. And I'll give a separate read for that. That'll be out Tuesday, Wednesday this week. And also with that, on that day, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. The Sun will be meeting, conjuncting with Mercury retrograde in Gemini that same day. And then we got Mars, our warrior energy, entering Leo until the 29th of July, I believe it is. And we've also got Venus in Cancer making good aspects with Uranus in Taurus. So I see that as breakthrough in terms of love, beauty, harmony, truth and all that. So we're in between the eclipses now, and on the last quarter moon, Spirit outlined quite strongly the energies of uncovering polarized energies and supplying tools for healing and integration, you know, for authentic heart and soul expression. So what I've got here is I pulled these cards for the three upper Sephiroth. So we got Kether, Chokhmah and Bina. Kether is the kind of, it's the crown, it's will, but it's also kind of source illumination, the first illumination. And we got this beautiful card, the Sun of 417 Hertz. Really, this is about the bottom line of the message of this card is about spiritually self-reliance, spiritual self-reliance, sorry. So it's that analogy that the sun is self-luminous. So it's about connecting to our own light, our own inner sun, being self-luminous. And sometimes we can't find, you know, circumstances are such that we can't find external support and guidance, but you know, this card is saying that's necessary. You know, circumstances force us to find our own strength, you know, and that becomes our soul connection to our inner sun. So that makes us less likely to be manipulated by others or a group, or, you know, or group think and social conditioning. So it brings inner harmony, you know, and the process gives you self-confidence, spiritual empowerment, and it gives you loving presence. And that comes from your inner sanctuary, which you don't find unless you're pushed into it often. And then in Chokhmah, from the Heroes Oracle deck, we got card 27, flip it upside down, question your beliefs. And Chokhmah is wisdom. So again, that's your inner wisdom. And it's from stage 6 in the belly of the whale. So again, talking about probably difficult circumstances, which ties in with the read I gave on quarter moon, really. But yeah, so a quote from Viktor Frankl don't know if you know who Viktor Frankl was. He's an incredible guy. He survived the concentration camps. And he says everything can be taken from a man or woman, but one thing, the last of the freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given circumstances, to choose one's own way. So very much like this, Spirit saying externally, sometimes that guidance and support say you feel alone, but actually, you know, it's to push you to know and understand your own beliefs. So, you know, when we're in fear, it's instinctual for us to like run. And it's usually our minds when we're in fear. You know, if it's not an actual external threat, they run at 100 miles per hour and we don't get any sleep. But in the spiritual world, it's often kind of like a counterintuitive approach to what we do in daily life. So it gets flipped on its head. Yeah, so instead of running from fear, we face fear. So in spiritual, it's symbolic language. So like, you know, if we dream or have a vision of fire, flood and destruction, that in daily life is tragedy, but in spiritual, it's symbolic of rapid change and transformation. So when the circumstances are difficult, we need to know that we're creators, we're powerful creators, and we got the ability to flip our experiences upside down and to find the symbolism behind the experience, you know, choosing how to respond and be in it. Yeah. So that's talking about your inner sun and your inner sanctuary and self-reliance. This is talking about beliefs and applying kind of the symbolic to look at it from a different angle, you know, not how you do in the everyday. And then after these two, we've got in Bina, which is understanding, it's a cosmic womb, we've got 42, dance of the divine feminine. So the feminine is symbolic language, that's feminine energy. So these are talking about spiritual symbolic language, and this is about dancing with that. So I'll just read you the bit out of Rumi. You know I like to read Rumi's words. So what it says is, if a tree could move from one place to another, it would not suffer the pain of the sore or the oppressive wounds. If the sun and the moon stood still like rocks, they would not offer brilliance. How bitter the taste of water would be if the river stopped its flow, remaining still like seawater. When the seawater rises to become a cloud, it loses its bitterness and pours out the rain of sweetness. I have given you only a few examples. You can figure out the rest. Break away from the self and enter the kingdom of love. And he goes on to say, how can your feet bear to be still when the music is so lush and inviting? How can you hold yourself back from the tide of love when the horizon looms so vast and exciting? How can you not arch your back and respond with ecstasy to the lover's touch, saying in absolute submission, yes, more. You were made to move and grow, to love and flow. Even mountains change. Surrender the stodgy ways of the mind and become willing to dance to the great orchestrations of love. So that's Rumi's kind of words on it. And for me, this whole message is a message from the divine feminine, to employ our right brain, the symbolic language, imagination, intuitive emotion, feeling, vision, all those feminine aspects. So look for where Venus and Uranus are in your natal chart and see where that breakthrough of the divine feminine's coming, the love, harmony, truth and beauty. It's coming cosmically this week. I think that's really what Spirit is communicating as I meditated on these cards. That's kind of the sense I got. So I'll start looking with the tarot on the Tree of Life spread and see if there's kind of a bit more direction with it. Okay, so as I said, Ten of Cups, Gebra, Seven of Swords. Yeah, so we got this straight away. We've got this kind of seven energies of Gebra. It's restrictions. So it was talking about support and guidance and flipping things over. So this can be difficulty. It can be a sense of being deceived and betrayed, but that's your kind of container. And it's the mind as well, so you can be deceiving yourself, you know, this flip it upside down. And here we have the Ten of Cups, which is a completion, and it's also this Hesed, you know, flow down of beautiful love. So I know that's kind of like a nuclear family type, but whatever your kind of pleasure is, this sort of harmonious sense, this bringing all the colours of the rainbow together, you know, this is what's coming down to us. So it's mind and emotion, intuition. So it can be that our mind is very rigid, you know, contained and rigid, and we're kind of looking externally for support and not getting it, or we're thinking really, really rigid, or our beliefs are rigid, and we're kind of robbing ourselves because there's this beautiful flow of energy coming. So let's have a look at what it's saying about our hearts. But yeah, that that to me is the you know, the kind of heart-brain coherence, this you know, looking after our minds, like reorganizing our minds, looking at what beliefs keep us in this position of, you know, that we're being thieved from, or we're projecting that kind of robbing others of their beauty, and you know, we need to look at that. And in Tiferet we've got the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, this is like, look at the patterns of your heart, look at what you're working on in your heart, look at what's coming up for you, you know, really examine and work. Have a look at your patterns you're expressing out in the world, you know, down in Malkuth. Just have a look into it, and you'll probably see where you're trapped mentally in this kind of just rigid belief system or rigid thinking patterns. So we'll have a look at Netzach and Gebra and see what comes there. So we have Knight of Cups and we have the Star. Beautiful energies. Push them up a bit so you can see them. Yeah, so the Star, I mean, the Star is often connected with Bina up there. It's supernal energy, so that's cosmic womb reaching for the stars, that kind of hope and joy. But it's also about a surrender, Hod. It's about splendor, it's about glory. So this flip it upside down, and this, you know, what Rumi was saying, you know, we need to look at alternatives for what's going on to bring us that hope. And with this Knight of Cups energy coming towards us, this is kind of, again, Cups energy. It's emotive, intuitive. This is more on the masculine energy. I mean, they're both active energies, but this side is inner and this is the outer energy. So it's kind of, we need to have that hope. You know, we may feel contained, we may feel limited, we may have to work hard, but actually there's a flood coming down. The energy of emotion and intuition is coming towards you. There's hope there. So we'll have a look at the ninth Sephirah Yesod. The Ace of Swords. This keeps coming. This sword. It's alignment. And sitting in your sword is actually about that marriage of the polarities. So again, it's alignment of the mind, you know, crowning your mind. It's, for me, this is crowning your mind with, you know, vision, crowning your mind with feeling, emotion, intuition, with the feminine. So it's not just the masculine, logical, reasoning energy. It's also the energy of the feminine, which is, you know, more of a symbolic language rather than a rational language. I don't like that word rational, because, you know, even the language we've got to express, it can kind of put a negativity, you know, vision and symbolic language and dreams is irrational, and rational thinking is that logical. But no, we need both. So this is aligning, you know, it's crowned. We got the Yod there, which is an energy that's coming down to us this week. So if you have that circumstance that's difficult and you're feeling, gee, I'm so alone, I don't feel supported, I haven't got, then go within. This is what Spirit's saying. Go within and listen to the intuitive sense, and align your mind, work in your heart to align your mind with your intuition, and, you know, your feeling visionary kind of sense. Yeah, so I pulled a last one for Malkuth, which is our world, and it's the end product of this sun, Kether. And we have the Seven of Wands. So yeah, again, it's this, you know, it's the result of being out of balance. But you know, it can be paranoid thoughts, anyone on the end of the wands. It can be a defending of, you know, a rightful defending of where you stand. If you're in alignment and you're working to bring those kind of polarities together, you can be misunderstood. Some people, if you're talking from a spiritual point of view, will think that you're lacking seeds of intelligence, you know. It can be a difficult thing, but you need to stand your ground, really. And, you know, wands is passion, it's a feeling sense of perception. So again, it's fiery energy, but it's also that kind of symbolic. It's symbolic feeling. It's kind of both of them. I see fire energy, that wands energy, as both masculine and feminine. So yeah, I think that is kind of what Spirit is saying. There's a sense here, you know, you need to have that hope. You need to surrender to that hope and not kind of have those unending thoughts of betrayal. That, you know, whatever that limitation is, he said, didn't he, you know, about the tree moving and not feeling the saw. This is about flow. It's about a flow of vision and a readjustment, a realignment of this midsection. So it's having the ability to go within, to find that inner light, to flip it upside down, to see the flow, to see the symbol and the vision of what your circumstances are. Don't just look at what's going on. Look at what's coming towards you. It's a beautiful spread, this. Excuse me. We got all the May blossom out, even though it's June, late this year. So yeah, a real sense of Spirit saying, you know, that flow's coming to you. There's hope, there's love and intuition, but you need to really, you know, have stillness, listen to yourself, get out in nature, connect with that feminine beauty, truth, harmony, and all the symbolic. Take notice of your dream life, of the inspirations that come to you, especially those that come through things like beauty, like art, nature, other people. Yeah, just be open, I think, is what Spirit is saying. So I'll pull us an elemental and a message card to wrap us up, wrap the Sunday preach up. That's naughty, Cam. Yeah, so an elemental. But I think it's really encouraging, this is this constant, you know, go inward, strength's coming. It seems to be the messages I've had so much of lately. And it seems to be a very collective thing. I mean, I know I keep going on about it, but we've had this lockdown, and that is kind of, you know, a withdrawal from everyday life that we've had. So it all seems, you know, flipping it upside down, it's symbolic for, come on, retreat, go inside. Yeah, breathe from the heart, you know. So we got earth energy. And it says, put your own needs first for a change and things will become more clear. Yeah, I mean, we have to do that at times. We have to see to our inner life, you know, and really our biggest need is for an inner life and for that connection with, you know, connection with divine, with source, with soul. So yeah, if you've not been doing that and you've got loads of reasons why you shouldn't, then make some reasons why you should, and put your own needs. You know, if we're balanced, if we've got that kind of harmony and that hope and that sense of connection from both sides of us, you know, both sides of our brain, our inner, our outer, there's a harmony there, beautiful harmony. And not only do things become clear and you get the clarity, you also have that beautiful presence that this Kether card's talking about. Yeah, you become illuminated, you become illuminating to other people. So there's your artwork. Trust in divine order, you're being helped. Can't say any more, can I? That's the message of Spirit, the divine feminine. Go in, trust, know this week, have the sense of, you know, divine there. Put your needs first, make that time and enjoy that rebalancing, that being flipped upside down, dancing with the divine feminine. Yeah. Okay, lots of love, and I'll see you for the daily reads. Bye.